get started. So, all right, welcome, guys. It's so nice to have us all back together. Have like the teams reunited again. Thank you guys for dealing with Nicole and I's craziness over the last couple weeks. But this is a really special night. It's May 9th, 2017. We got Passion Fit Dynasty. We got Firefly Nation. Great showing of faces tonight. I'm really excited because for the first time, we have Caroline who's going to be hosting our team call tonight. We have had some special hosts in the past, but this is the first time we have a host from one of our teams actually, a coach from one of our teams hosting. And I could not be more proud that Caroline's going to be sharing her story tonight. So without me giving much away, I'm just going to pass it over to you, Caroline.
Thanks, Claire. Hi, guys. Okay, so I'm going to try really hard not to get nervous and rush through this real fast. So I typed out notes, so don't mind me if I look to the side. So one of my biggest regrets in this business, and I don't like to say regrets, but it is because I said no for so long. And the reason I said no was I was so consumed by what others would say about me. And that's something that's always consumed my whole life. And it prevented me from doing something that, pursuing something that I found that I really love. And honestly, I've thought about it a lot. If someone is going to judge you, it's inevitable. But if they are, and you're doing something that's trying to help people and you're not harming anyone in the process, is that really someone you want to care about if they judge you or not? Because their morals and your morals are probably not in line with each other. So when I was first approached, when Loretta and Claire first approached me about coaching, I had the longest list of why I couldn't do it. I was in school part-time, I was doing an internship, and I was working full-time at the same, and I was so stressed out in my life. I was sick all the time. I was so exhausted. I remember my boyfriend at the time used to get so annoyed with me because every time we hung out, I would fall asleep. And so while that was the excuse why I couldn't do it, it was actually every reason I needed to do it because I had no fitness. I just didn't have any routine, and this has helped me have a routine. And plus, I'm going to school to get my master's in social work, and my job now, I love it and I work with amazing people, but it's not in the field that I want to be in. So I feel like this side business of mine is letting me pursue my dream of helping other people. And I will preface that with saying that when I first heard people saying that this is a business about helping people, I thought that was a load of crap until I started receiving messages from family and friends who have joined Beachbody with me about how happy they are, and not just necessarily in weight loss. They're just really happy to see themselves doing something that they didn't think they could do. Or I had one friend message me about how her mood had improved so much, and that brings me so much happiness because part of the reason I needed this was I've always struggled with anxiety and depression, and this helps me so much. The working out for 30 minutes without obsessing about it, it helps me find that escape and a healthy way to find happiness, and giving that to someone else is such a beautiful thing. So a little backstory about me before I get into my coaching. Before I started, I was about 40 pounds heavier. People, when fitness and working out and commitment came and my name followed, people laughed because I just didn't commit to anything, and I could eat a whole pizza, still can, still proud of it, by myself. And when I told family members I started being a coach, I remember the first call I jumped on, people laughed. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes when people laugh or do a smirk when I say I do it, it still makes me stumble at times, but I'm learning more and more to feel my fire because I found a passion in this. And the more I pursue it and strive at it, I'm loving helping people. I'm reconnecting with friends, and the positivity in the challenge groups help me so much in life, especially when I'm stressed out. I'm the youngest of 3 children. I have a really amazing and supportive family, but I was always the child who needed a little extra help emotionally and financially from my family. I moved out younger than either of my siblings, and I wasn't married. And everyone kind of just thought, okay, Caroline's going to quickly fall back and be homesick, and she's going to need mom and dad's help. Everyone was joking around, making bets of when I was going to call mom and dad crying and saying I was broke. So, like, that has, like, motivated me more than ever to prove to my family, like, and myself that I can do this. Like, I don't have to listen to those words. Like, I can support myself and be stronger than ever. And, like, in the process of doing so, I'm helping people. And, like, that I can't explain brings me so much happiness. Because, like, if I don't have positivity and the motivation, it's just, I need that, because it's like when you get positivity, you receive positivity back, and it's just this endless cycle of happiness. So proving to myself and to my family and friends that I can do this is what gives me the motivation for my coaching business. I feel like Success Club is like that little reminder to me and to my family that, like, I am good at this. I am, like, I know my parents are, like, extremely impressed. Like, I'm, like, showing them that this can work. They're seeing not only an improvement in my mood, they're seeing me be the fittest I've ever been and, like, stay committed. And they're seeing me, like, save money, and no one thought I could do that. So some of the things, like, I've learned from my own mistakes is, like, don't be salesy. And I say this because it's honestly not a sales job. And if you treat it like one, you're not going to really succeed in this business. I've made this mistake. I've rushed messages. I've come off completely wrong. I get really nervous sometimes. And if someone doesn't seem very, like, responsive, I rush it and I just, like, spew information, and it pushes them off. And I don't blame them, because if someone did it to me, I would do the same thing. And I've actually tried to make up for this because I've caught myself. So I actually go back and apologize. And it's actually helped me. I will just go back and I'm just honest with them, and I'll be like, I'm really sorry I spewed a lot of information on you. I get really excited about this and I word vomit. And I tell them, I'm like, if you have any questions, you want to chat more about it, I'm here. And I've actually had some girls who've come back around. It's changed their perspective, and it, like, shows them that I'm really just trying to help them. And let's see. So that's been, like, a big thing for me, because, like, it's not about getting numbers out. Connecting with people and doing that's really helpful. And so, like, in my posts, like, some of the objections I've received, I obviously don't call the person out in my post that I'm, like, building my message off of, but, like, I'll be like, people will be like, I don't have the time, or I don't have the money. So I try to, like, show in the message on my post why I had the same objection and how I've made it work. I'm not going to tag the person like, so-and-so told me they didn't have time, and I'm here to say that's bullshit. Like, I try to create messages from my post, because I had those same excuses and I needed to hear it over and over again, why you can make it work and why maybe you need to make it work if you don't have the money or you don't have the time. Because honestly, this has helped me become more productive in my life, and I've saved money. I've cut my grocery list down, my monthly bill down in half, literally. I don't buy as much snacks. Snacks were literally part of my budget, and I don't do that anymore. So sometimes you have to do that, and sometimes it's okay to push back a little bit when people ask, like, not in a rude way, but just ask, like, well, can we talk about that more? Ask about their budgets and stuff, and just be honest and say why you can relate to that, and craft your posts around it. Because sometimes I'll get people coming back. They'll see it. They read it. And, like, also another thing to remember, like, just because people aren't liking and commenting it doesn't mean they don't see it. And I know we hear that a lot, but I've received a few messages from people that I thought were really annoyed with my posts, like friends of mine who never liked it, never commented on it, and they told me how much they love it. So like, don't just assume because your friends aren't reaching out to you or anything like that, that they don't love it. So let's see. Like I said, I approach each client with how I would like to be approached. I don't want anyone pushing anything on me. I want them to be honest and helpful. I know a lot of times they say, like, don't talk about the price right away. I obviously don't say it in my first message, but I don't really try to avoid the question when they ask me, because I'm the kind of person, I'm hyper vigilant. If someone was doing it to me and they're avoiding the question, it makes me more nervous about it. I try to be really upfront with them. I show them everything they get with it, because if they just hear the number, it does sound like a lot of money, but when you like break it down, you see all the amazing things you get with this. It's truly wonderful, because like, especially now, people are spending the same amount of money that I spend at Planet Fitness. I didn't get half the crap that I got here, and I actually do the workouts. So there's that. So when people say they're at Planet Fitness, just you can show how much more you get with it. And as I keep saying, like, relate. No one's going to want to join if you're not relating to them. I have a lot of girls that I was in a sorority with, and like, we love community. So like, I try to tell them, like, this is a great community. This is a great way to reconnect with friends. And, I think that's like a really good thing to promote, because like, that's what's so beautiful about this. One of my new challengers was saying, like, when she tried the free group and she's now an official challenger, she's like, and I never thought she would want to join. Never. She's a big runner. She's in great shape, in my opinion. And I just didn't think she would want to join. I didn't want to offend her. I never try to offend anyone, because it's not about losing weight. It's about gaining confidence in yourself and like finding a healthy lifestyle. And she joined, like, when she tried the free group, she's like, I really see where the accountability, like, it's a huge thing, because she missed a plank and she was like, I feel so lazy. I missed a plank and plank challenge. And like, the accountability is a true thing. Like, if people are expecting you to like show out, so really like promote the community aspect of it. And I try to tell them how much fun it is. Like, that we post funny things, we post self-love, and like, self-love is another big thing to promote, because that's like so important. We aren't some bikini competitors who are dehydrating ourselves, not eating chicken every day. Like, we're living healthy lifestyles and learning to love ourselves and love the body we're in, and we all have different bodies. Another thing that I've tried to do, I try to make it helpful for people how it would be helpful for me. And like I said before, eating is a big thing for me. So I started creating meal plans if people want it. I haven't done this the whole time. It was something I started doing later on, and it's been really helpful. People seem to really like it. Usually it's something that kind of makes them consider it, because it's just something you don't get at the gym. And I think it shows like how much fun the food and meal plans can be with this program. So let's see. I'm going to show that. Let's see if I can do that. I have it up. Hold on. How do I screen share when I got this? I can do this, people. Okay, 1 second. Claire, how do I screen share?
Oh, sorry, I thought I unmuted. I was going to say, I think you can screen share. I can't remember if you can only...
Oh, I see the button. It's like a big green button right in front of me. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, yep, there it is.
All right, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I do a meal plan Monday through Friday, and basically I show like a bunch of different recipes they can do, and it gives them an idea of how to plan it out. So like, this was the first one I did. And I did the cubes of the color. So what I do is I ask them, say, when you get your information, it also encourages them to read the packets, because I didn't do this, and that was my own fault, because I'm just a lazy person and I don't like to read instructions. So it encourages them to really review the packets and like kind of understand the program a little more. And so when they do that, I then say, I'm like, okay, like when you get this, please figure out what meal plan you fall in. That way it's not uncomfortable. Like, I don't need to know your weight. I don't need to know anything. That's fine. Just tell me what range you fall in, and then we'll work from there. And then I ask them to send me any restrictions they have in their diet, anything they absolutely hate, anything they love, and then I go from there. And I tell them like they don't have to follow it. It's just like to guidance. So I do this. This was the first one. And then if there's like a recipe, let's see. So there was spicy shrimp over brown rice and sauteed spinach. And so I had kind of come up with that recipe, but I gave her like the recipe for the spicy shrimp. And then this was Tuesday, and I found like this fun English muffin pizzas because she loves pizzas. So that's all the ingredients there. And then I try to make it like cater it to each person. So let's see, hold on. Let me see. Slides, because I done one more. I'm working on another one that it'll be a little difficult. She's a vegetarian, so I'm excited for the challenge. So this was for one of my best friends. And I know it really helped her a lot. And so this was hers. And then I added shrimp, rice, and spinach, aka Caroline fucked around in the kitchen. Because that was just my recipe. And then I did the English muffin pizzas for her because she loved it. And then like shrimp scampi, spaghetti squash. Like she told me she hated zoodles, so I didn't put that in. Wasn't an almond burger or almond butter person. So like, I like to ask those things because I don't want to send someone something and it's like a bunch of stuff they don't like. So this is what I did. And it's really easy because if you have a Gmail, like a Google account, you can just use the slides aspect that they have, and you can make it right there. They're really cute templates, and you can just share it with their email. It's a really easy way, and it keeps you connected with the person. It does take a little bit of time, so I try to tell the people when I get it, like it might take me a couple weeks, but that doesn't mean they can't start or get used to try some recipes out, because I always send them my Pinterest list, so they have recipes there that they can try. I also kind of updated a girl had shared a challenger prep pack that she had made, so I kind of changed it around a little bit to cater to our teams, and I found that a lot of challengers like that. So I try to give them those little things so that that one, it helps them to succeed and keep them motivated and something to refer to. Especially like I try to be really responsive to people, but sometimes I can't get back to them right away, or the service in my office sucks, so I can't respond. And I think these tools that I'm slowly learning that are helpful are really good for them. And it's honestly really helpful for me because I'm very plain Jane with my Shakeology. I like water, ice, and chocolate, and a lot of people like trying different recipes, and I don't always have the best advice when it comes to that. So I like sending them this list with a bunch of recipes and just a reference. Honestly, that's basically what I have. I'm like happy to answer any questions that people have if they want to chat.
Caroline, I just have to say, I am completely blown away. Like, this exceeded like all expectations that I had. I'm sure probably Claire too. I don't think I could have ever done what you just did as a newer coach. And I like just sent Claire a private message. Like, you are so fantastic at putting people first. And that's like truly what this is all about. And you can tell you just totally get it.
Oh,
so good for you. You're doing fantastic. And I'm so grateful that you spoke tonight and shared that stuff with us.
Aw, thank you. I'm like LOLing because I just saw Loretta's Carol keep caroling. Thank you.
Well, Caroline, what I wanted you to also touch on, because we do have some new coaches on here. You kind of came into this business, I think, started coaching or training around November. So you've been here for, been here like coaching for probably about 6 months. Now we have other coaches that have been here for maybe only about 3 months or so, or since the start of the new year, right? And what I want some of our newer girls to realize, we always talk about the comparison game. Don't compare your day one, your month 1, month 3 to someone else's 6 months or whatever. But Caroline, can you speak a little bit to one, talk about how you fit in your daily behaviors, like how have you managed to hit Success Club all but 1 month since you started, and why that's a priority for you right now?
Well, one, it's like to show to myself that like I can be successful. Like that's why it's a big priority for me. And another big reason it's priority is that I want to go into addiction treatment, and that I'm not going to make a lot of money there, and I'm okay with that because it's what I want to do. But I would love to make this a business where, one, I'm helping people and it's in the field I want, and I can not worry about the salary I'd be making at my other job. Like I'd like to make this balance it out. So Success Club to me is like keep proving to myself, keep building my team and my business, and like helping other people. The way I do that is I'm definitely like a work in progress when it comes to like making those hours work, you know, putting in the time in my business and getting my workouts in. So I'm trying to wake up just like, for me, like trying to wake up from like 7 and start waking up at 5:30 is just like not going to happen. Like I have to like slowly work up to it. So I try to wake up like 15 minutes earlier to get there, because it's just not reasonable. Like no one, my family won't even speak to me in the morning because they know I'm not a morning person. It's just everyone knows not to speak to me. And so what I do is, I guess part of the reason I find the drive too is I have a lot of fun with it, and so I try to make it at work or my lunch hour. So it's like, okay, if you can't make it in the morning, that's totally fine, because that's normal. Like a lot of people struggle with mornings, so make it lunchtime. And set goals for yourself. Put it everywhere around you. I have goals listed in my planner on a weekly basis. I have goals listed in my notebook for my Beachbody business, and I have goals listed on my door. They might all be the same goals, but I see it every time I move. And that's like the constant visual. Oh, and I also have a to-do list next to my table. So yeah, I have like my goals listed everywhere. And so like that just keeps me motivated. And I think it's like, I don't know, it's like you want the business to grow. That's fun. There's fun trips that like keep me motivated. Like I'm graduating in April, and if I could hit Success Club trip next year and go to Mexico, that'd be the best way to end my master's degree. So things like that really help me to keep myself motivated. And sometimes like maybe I can't do the hour. Like I would like to do the hour, but maybe sometimes that's just not going to work. But I make sure I get a half hour in. I can do a half hour, and sometimes I don't think I have the time, but I also got a planner that like breaks the day down into hour by hour, and you realize how much more time in the day you actually do have than you think you have. So I schedule out my day hour by hour.
No, that's awesome. And thank you, Caroline, for speaking to kind of like what your day looks like a little bit, because, you know, as newer coaches, like, and I think Nicole and I can agree to this too, even though we've been in the biz for a little bit longer, that, you know, getting your routine down is hard. It's not easy, you know, and like, you know, you guys know I'm a morning person, but it doesn't mean that it's like done in 60 minutes every time. The weekends are a shuffle, to say the very least. I have recently been trying to do more, but I think you made a good point of that. As much as we try to say, you know, consistency is key, of like, you know, if you can set hours and time blocks of time, that'll help you. But at the end of the day, just fitting it in. And I think, like you said, having that visualization and having those goals around you are huge. Like knowing, I think what I'm hearing you say is that you know why you're here, not just why you said yes, but you know why you're here. You know why you're showing up today. You know why you're showing up tomorrow. And frankly, you know why you're showing up next year. Like you have, it's more than just knowing your monthly goals. Like you know where you want to be in a year from now. And it sounds like that's what really is driving you right now.
Yeah. And like the routine is, I don't know, there was something I had and I completely forgot, but like the routine is really important. I think it just helps you in every other aspect of your life. And oh, I know what I was going to say too. It's like, I also show up because like I have people, who really like rely on like some of the challenges. Even if you have one challenger or two challengers, whatever it is, like they expect you to show up. And if you don't show up, they're not going to show up. We're trying to help people. And like, even if maybe you're not getting like sending invites or talking to people about it, like make sure you show up to your challenge group, because those people have committed and they need your help. And so like, regardless of why you're showing up, like if you started this and you're helping people, make sure you at least show up for them.
I love that. And I think that kind of goes back to what even Nicole said too about putting people first, you know. And that kind of goes back to, you know, if you're not fully committed in your health and fitness journey, how can you expect somebody else to be? Sorry guys, don't mind the little pop-up thing. But no, I think you're right. Again, it kind of goes back to putting those people first. You kind of already talked about about consistency and doing your power hours, but can you briefly talk about how you've hit Success Club these last couple months, and frankly, how you've hit Success Club 12 last month?
The meal plans have helped a lot. And I guess, so when the month I didn't hit Success Club, I was like, because I just, I wasn't connecting with people. So it was very cold, and people, I wasn't, I think, putting the person first, and that hurt me clearly because I didn't make Success Club. So I think the biggest reason hitting Success Club for me was putting the person first, not just talking about Beachbody, like talking about their life and other things, and like being authentic about it, not just doing it because I feel like I have to do it, doing it because I want to do it. And that's what's helped me the most, is connecting with other people. Like my friend who just joined, like I didn't push it on her. I didn't ask. Like she brought it up about me. I talked a little bit about it. I told her about and we met up for lunch because she was, she's in sales and she was in town, and we just caught up and like things like that. Like, you know, I wanted to catch up with her. She was an old friend of mine, and like things like that, you know, don't try to push this on someone. If they don't want it, this might not be the time for them, and that's okay. Like just connect with people, reconnect with them. And if they want to join, if they want what you have, they will. And just, I mean, I'm not always good at it, but like try not to be pushy with it. And that's really what's helped me the most. And following up though, like if they have expressed interest, that's also really important because some people forget to check their emails.
Yeah, no, follow-ups are huge. That's something that I implemented like crazy last month. And if you guys haven't checked out the follow-up scripts I posted in the team page, I think I might have shared them with you too, Nicole, but if I haven't, I'll make sure I will. I found them somewhere. They're somewhere. But yeah, the follow-ups are, yeah, they're amazing. Well, okay, we still have a couple more minutes. The other thing that I've really admired about you, Caroline, is that honestly, ever since you became a coach, one thing that you've been probably the most consistent on that you do every single day is that you show up and post, and you have a social media presence. Can you talk a little bit about posting and having your presence there?
Excuse my cursing, but just rip the fucking Band-Aid off, because that was what stopped me. You know, people are going to make comments. It's fine. My brother teases me on a regular basis, but he means well. He's actually proud of me slightly. I don't know. He doesn't express it too much, but just rip it off. People are going to make comments. But you got to show what you're doing and be proud of who you are and be proud of your journey and consistency. Like it's, you know, that's what's going to change. If people, like one of my best friends who joined, like she was like, I'm seeing so much change in you and so much happiness in you. I'm not like that bitter girl anymore. Well, sometimes, but and that's why she wanted to join, because she's like, I want what you have. Like, I love the happiness that I'm seeing in you, and and like we text, but she was seeing it through my posts and like things like that. And so sometimes it's like you might not be comfortable posting a lot, and it took me a while to even get comfortable posting a few a day. Be honest with where you're at. Be sarcastic. Be whoever you are in your post. Talk about what you're going through. Like I usually eat too much candy and I talk about that, or I hate mornings, as everyone knows, and just talk about that. You know, it doesn't have to be about joining your team. It doesn't have to be about that. Just post what you would want to see, what you needed.
I actually love that you just said that last line, because what you're kind of alluding to, Caroline, is, you know, something that I try to keep in mind too is like, you know, what did I need to see before I said yes? Like, what was I looking at what attracted me, what attracts me now, like what posts do I gravitate towards? And that's almost the kind of things that you want to be putting out there. And Caroline, I think that's why ever since you joined this team, you seriously make me double over and laugh every time I see all of your posts, because they're just, honest to God, so stupidly real, and that's why I think, honestly, Caroline, you've had some of your success. You're incredibly organized, you're incredibly, you're disciplined despite your own judgment of feeling unorganized, but you have drive, but you're just you just show up and you're you, and when you're you, people will relate to you, they gain that trust, and that's why I think that's why those yeses become easier, because people see your posts and they're like, oh, that girl's just like me. And I don't know if that's been your experience, but that's how I feel when I read your posts.
Like, that's what I try to help people. I don't have some like killer abs. I would like them, but I don't have them yet, and I'm like working on it. And just, I guess, showing that the girl who could, like, I used to only be able to run like 3 minutes without taking a break and like catching my breath, and the girl who would literally sit in front of my guy friends eating a whole pizza and they would stare at me in amazement. If like I can do it, anyone can do it.
I love that. And, I guess you say that in regards to your challengers, but, same for your future coaches and your future team, heck, you're a prime example of that. You have Kate on the call with us tonight, which is really awesome. But yeah, before we wrap up, we still have a couple more minutes. Did anybody have any other questions for Caroline? Or are we all just like holding our jaws? Well, Caroline, could you share a link of your meal plan, like just one of those slides maybe, with us?
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's awesome. I think that's something Rachel Khalil has done too, made some specialized meal plans. And that sounds like an amazing resource that if we can duplicate in our own, that would be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts, questions for Caroline at all? No. Well, I just want to say, Caroline, that, I think Nicole, Loretta, and I speak, from the bottom of our hearts. We are so freaking proud of you. You've hustled so hard. It's crazy to think that, nearly a year ago, we had just started saying, hey, Caroline, we think you'd be a great coach. And you're like, Actually, how long did you say no? Do you remember?
About 6 months.
Yep.
Just keep putting it off to the side like I do with most things in my life. So
right. Well, and I love that you opened this call with saying that was your biggest regret, which is so funny because I think that's what I think of too. And I think there's a few of you on this call who jumped in right away, much like Nicole and I. But, there's plenty of us that have said no for a long time. And that's just part of your journey, part of your story. So thank you so much, Caroline. This was just amazing, as, one of the leaders in this team, to actually sit back and watch you run. It's so inspiring. I hope it was inspiring for you guys. I got a lot of new information and nuggets for me that, like, I want to implement. So I'm really excited. So I guess, guys, whatever your additional takeaways are, I hope it's just, to be yourself and be you. And, thank you so much for coming in, Caroline. This is amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies.
All right. Thank you, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys go a little bit early, but happy May. Let's crush this month, guys. We're coming into summer. This is a fabulous time to really start pushing and implementing those summer crush goals. So I think, guys, I really think this is going to be the best month of our team. I feel it. I believe it. I know it. So let's just go out there and hustle, guys. Okay. Yay.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night.